dive deep into the interview, man, do you feel like your talents are more suited towards studio performance or towards a stage performance? Or is it like one of the same or an even split between the two?
Uh, you know, I believe that you're better at, what you've put more time into and what you've got more experience in. Obviously, perfect practice makes perfect. So I think I've had more experience with writing and recording. I've been recording myself since I was 15, so I got about 15 in the game just with like engineering, mixing, and recording myself, and then traveling to different studios. As far as like traveling around, I've done a bunch of showcases from here to New York. Or when I say here, I mean like from Louisiana, Texas, in the South, all the way up to New York. And I've had great experience at all of them. I think that comes more natural because the song's already done, so when that comes on stage, like you got the vibe already, you know what you need to say. I think that if it's really in you, it shows. And like I said, I love interacting with the fans when I'm on stage, so that comes out natural. But again, like there's always room for improvement, you know what I'm saying? So I think that with the more shows, I keep doing, get them under my belt, then it's just going to start being more natural, get me back in the rhythm of things.
Yes, sir. I like how you said perfect practice makes perfect because you can practice the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
But also, man, to reference like shows and songs, like once they're done and you're performing a song, and it kind of comes off different when it's like the live version. Do you ever have like the feeling to redo a song because you're like, oh man, I could have, went harder on this line because in a live performance I'm going super hard.
Not really. I don't even think of it like that, to be honest with you. I think I have a lot whenever I'm doing my songs. Like I have an idea of like how I want to push them, how I want to touch somebody with them. So with Money High, I knew exactly what I was aiming at. I mean, that just takes years of practice. Like I said, you sit down and you kind of visualize like what you want to do and what you plan on doing with that song. Like I don't make, like, not every single record is not something I can go out and perform. Like some of them are real deep and lyrical to where it's gonna like hit you in a different way. It's not gonna hit you the same way I would hit you like on stage with like that same energy, you know what I'm saying? So some of them are just to be like, playback on rewind type of stuff. Like, man, like that was some deep shit, so.
Yeah. So you mentioned like writing. You did a lot of writing. How do you keep your skills and abilities sharp? Like, do you have any kind of practice regimen going on? You battle rap, anything like that?
I wouldn't necessarily say like battle rapping, but like growing up, I was always like part of a big old crowd in DeRidder where I'm from, where like we would always, be rapping, and it was just like back and forth, not more like on some battle rapper, like going at somebody, but just more like in big groups, big circles. And it was like when it was your time, it was like, you know, float or sink, so it was like, you don't want to be clown, so you just get real good at what you do. But no, like as far as battle rapping, I never really got into that. Keeping my skills sharp, I think that writing consistently, I think that helps, and also paying attention. This is something I really like to focus on now. Is I used to just focus on like the people I looked up to. You know what I'm saying? Like the legends, like the ones that are passed away. The ones that are on top of the game. Your J's, your M's, your Pacs, your Biggies, like the ones who are Nas, all of them. But now looking at the new school and looking at the new wave and everything like in a different light, I think that also holds a lot of value now, because it's like, I mean, they're the creators, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always revolving. They're always making a circle. It's always doing that. So I think looking at the past and focusing on, like, what they did great and trying to take the good away from that, and then looking at the new school also, like, what are they doing? And just, I don't know. It's just, I don't think you should be secluded. I don't think you should just, like, have blinders on. I think you need to just take it all in and, just respect everybody's music. And that's something that I've come a long way with. I used to be real just, adamant about listening to only a certain type of music, like in hip hop. You know what I mean?
Man, that is a great perspective, because I think I was like kind of one of the same like you, just turned off about a lot of the newer age rap. I'm like, you know what? I have to give it a chance because I'm in media. Eventually I'm gonna have to interview one of these guys, and I can't be ignorant of their music or stuff like that. But as I dove into it, you got to just kind of take what you like out of it and mix it with what you like from the old school, or or what I call yesterday's music.
Yeah, or like for instance, like there's one artist in particular. I just heard a track maybe a couple of days ago in my car on Spotify. I was riding, and it was on Gary V's playlist. Actually, I hit it, started listening. I said, man, I can't believe that, because I heard, like, for instance, like, you may hear Money High from me and you're like, I don't like that. That ain't my type of music, you know? And then later, like a month later, you might hear something else and be like, ooh, that's the same person, you know? And that happened to me. So I was like, ooh, you know, it like made me sit back and I was like, ooh, that boy got fired. I was like, man, so, you know, it was like, all right, you know, so.
Yeah. And you know, that's very interesting too. Like sometimes the majors make the cookie cutter,
Yeah.
type of filter rap.
For sure.
Do you see like an advantage being indie versus a major? Because like the majors are definitely pumping all the resources into these singles, playing them over and over and over until you eventually like it. Do you think you have a advantage over the major artists because you get to put out what you feel?
I wouldn't say an advantage. You know, there's ups and downs on both sides of it, but I do believe that I would say I don't want to just come off the wrong way, but I think that by being, because trust me, I've searched, I've went out and really just worked hard at trying to get record deals. Like, trust me, that's where I was at my whole life, was out there just searching, trying to get a deal. And I went through a very humbling experience this past, you know, like I would say like 9-10 months of coming out, and now I feel like it's so big, it's so different now, man. It's not like it used to be, like when you would go pick up an album and it would be like the whole album has something. Like, I'm still from that era, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's there's an advantage on both sides, I would say. You know, I like to make my music free, and I like to do that. I'm not gonna sell out. I'm not gonna be one of these people that, you know, you're not gonna have creative control over me 100% to be like, you're gonna rap like this, you're gonna make music like this, they're gonna like you for this. Like, that's not me. I don't think that's not music, man. You know, that's not really coming from the heart.
Definitely. I get it. So let's talk about favorites and personal inspirations. Who is your favorite artist and how have they inspired you to create music?
Ooh, you talking about past, present, any?
Either or, yeah.
I would say, for sure, Pac's my favorite artist of all time. He's inspired me to make music, like, and not really give a fuck about like what the outcome is. Like, for instance, like I made I Apologize at a very young age. Like, my mom passed away. She died of liver cancer when I was in high school. Right, and like my grandpa passed like 3 days after that, so it was like back to back type stuff. And it took a while. Like another year passed by, and it was like Mother's Day, you know. And I go up there to Walmart and I see all these people on the Mother's Day section cards, and I'm looking, and I was like, damn. So like I got in the car and started riding off, and I think I heard Dear Mama, to be honest with you, on the way home, and it just hit me. Like, it hit me. I've heard that song a million times, but that day it hit me a certain way, and I went home and made I Apologize, which was basically like my way of like trying to reconcile the past, because I didn't really go to her funeral. I didn't see her on her deathbed. We didn't end on good terms, so I was apologizing through that track. And that, like I said, like, he's always been a big influence, but it was just like I had to sit back and look at it like, you know what, like, if that dude is that tough and that respected, like, he's respected because he was real and he just put out music that touched so many lives, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, and I just put that out, and it had a really good effect. That was back when MySpace was the main platform too, man. That was years ago.
Yeah. So if you could work with any artist in the game, living or dead, no matter what genre they're in, who would you choose and why?
There's a lot living that I like to work with, man, because we only get one shot. You know, there's a whole lot. I could sit here and name them off all day, but I'd say passed away would be Pac. You know, that's somebody I would feel inspired to work with. I would, you know, you would want to come out. I think he would bring the best out of anybody that worked with him. I think he did do that while he was alive. So definitely right now, if he were to come back just for an instant, you know, it would do that to you. So I would definitely have to say him.
Your latest single, Money High?
Well, right now I started up a label, so I'm working on that. I'm working on the business side of it, trying to get all my ducks in a row. Once I get all that lined out, I'm gonna start focusing on trying to reach out to, you know, different venues and places that I can go and start really pumping it out there like that, and start really interacting and engaging my fans better. I also need to work on some merchandising things that I can actually, you know, offer the public and stuff when I go out and see them, instead of just, you know, my song or whatever. So there's a plan behind it for sure. I just want to, you know, when I do it, I want to make sure I do it right.
Yeah, I like that, man. So you focus on the music and you're also focusing on building a business name of your label?
It's gonna be 1135 Records. It'll be like a lowercase I, the number 11, then VN, so it'll be 11 like that, and then 35 the number, and then Records. So it's a little bit tricky with some wordplay. It looks like it says ill, like ill 11, and basically that's my address where I grew up, man. My house had burnt. I basically moved all my stuff into a shed, like right there, and just became like. That was like the spot in my town. Everybody was coming through, man. All the hottest artists coming through there and recording and everything. So I wanted to kind of flip it, always remember where I came from, but at the same time, it's like look where we came from. You know what I'm saying? So.
What would you consider like the biggest challenge to you in like bringing songs to the stage as opposed to bringing them to the studio? Like, do you write your songs with like a stage performance in mind?
Sometimes, yeah, like with Money High for sure, because it's like that energy when my cousin Nova, he kicked off that beat to me and I heard it, I was like, God, like you just can't deny like the club energy it gave me, and I was like, yeah, that's something that is going to touch a lot of people, and I was definitely aiming for that. So I would say that I would say a lot of thought goes into it before I make a song, of what I'm going to do with it and who I'm trying to reach and touch. So yeah.
What's your mind state like going forward when it comes to support for your music? I think I read where like you've been at it, you was adamant with it, you was traveling, and then you took a break, or and now you're back at it. So has the support been the same?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like I got some of the support from some of the people that's always been rocking with me, and I put that out there on my music page on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram. It's Cain. _337. I put that on all that earlier and just told everybody like, thank you for rocking with me all these years. Appreciate that. And at the same time, a bunch of people, when I took that break off like that, I was working on myself basically. I started a family, and the music wasn't paying at the time, so I was like, I got to go get a job. I got to do this. There's things I needed to do for my kids first, so I wanted to make sure they're okay. And once that was good, everything was going good, then it's like, man, I really got to pick up the pace. I done lost some time, so.
Yeah. What do you have to say to the people who doubt you, who doubt your talent?
I gotta say, like, I respect everybody's opinion now. I really do, but I don't hold their value over mine anymore, and that's something I had to like get over, because I always had like a chip on my shoulder, I guess, from being doubted, from being hated on, from where I come from. Being white and rapping and everything, and I think that over these years it's really evolved. You see a lot more artists coming out, and it's just like it doesn't really matter as much as it did back then. There's like, to me, it's like now the mindset is just like it doesn't matter, because I know what I put out, and I'm gonna keep putting it out, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm not gonna, your opinion ain't gonna be valued more than mine at the end of the day. So.
Did you get a lot of pressure from being a white rapper?
Yeah, growing up, definitely, like where I'm from, man, like in the South, and
really?
Yeah, for sure, like, it's crazy, because, like, I went to New York at a very early age, like, right when I graduated high school, my house had burnt, all that stuff kind of happened at once, so I went into overdrive. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go build this house now by going out and winning these showcases, so I kicked it up a notch. I went to, every state I could, just doing showcases and, winning them and still not getting a deal, or still not getting this or whatever was in return. But when I went to New York, it was like everybody, it didn't even matter. Like there was a line that was stretched around this venue, man. It didn't matter. Like it was just like there was more, I don't know, the culture was so bigger up there, and it was like everybody was just like, it was just so diverse. But down where I'm from, man, it's like I'm like the only one in the area, you know what I mean? But being that like that, it's like, okay, well, I got a lot of pressure on me. I put a lot of pressure on myself too, but at the same time, it's like, you can't come half-ass. Like you got to come all the way with it. So that's just the mindset I got, and that's kind of what my area has instilled in me. So I'm very proud to be from DeRidder and have, the people that I grew up around just, always pushing me harder and harder and harder, because it's definitely paid off.